Hi, hope you're doing all right out there. Change of location today. I'm over at my office where I do my guitar lessons, and I've got about 10 minutes before we're going to start, so I thought let's get a little vid done. So, a couple of years ago, maybe 18 months ago, a mate of mine signed up. Actually, it was Gary. I'm not on Facebook Foley, my tech guy, does all the thumbnails. So I signed up for YouTube Premium. YouTube was starting to make TV programs. So, what are you watching? He said, I'm watching Cobra Kai. I'm like, what's Cobra Kai? And he said, oh, it's basically a kind of sequel to The Karate Kid, 30 years on, 34 years on, in fact. I'm like, oh, right. Never thought much of it. And then recently, Netflix basically got the first two series, and it turns out Netflix have now got the rights, and they are going to be producing series 3. So I'd heard bits and bobs about it. Basically, a bit of backstory to it. It's created by, I'm just looking at the names, John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg, a couple of guys, big Karate Kid fans. And its origins are back 2013, I think it was. The actor William Zabka, who played the Karate Kid's nemesis, Johnny Lawrence, directed a video for a band that's called Sweep the Leg by No More Kings. I'm just looking at there. And in that, he kind of sent up his character from the Karate Kid, but present day. A couple of years later, or maybe a bit longer, Ralph Macchio and him and William Zabka appeared in an episode of How I Met Your Mother. Basically, Ralph Macchio was kind of dissing Johnny Lawrence's character throughout it. Or someone said Johnny Lawrence was a real hero of the Karate Kid, something like that. There was a clown, they were at a party, and there was a clown there doing various stuff. At the end of the show, the clown removes his makeup and is William Zabka. So there was a connection there with the two actors. So anyway, presumably the guys who produced this, created it, show runners as it were, they got in touch with the two actors and they, pitched them this idea. So I've got to admit, I sat down to watch the first episode and was laughing a lot because it was pretty shoddy. It looks like a kind of early 90s TV show. And the acting was pretty bad from the leads, I've got to say. William Zabka obviously hasn't acted much since back in the day. Ralph Macchio, last thing I remember him was My Cousin Vinny. So it was pretty ropey, and then things didn't improve much on the second episode. But if it wasn't the second, it was the third episode. There was an appearance by one of my favourite songs by Rat at Lay It Down, and the show started to find a little bit of groove. And started to introduce sort of the elements. So by about episode 4, they'd introduced the teenage characters, the young people in the series who attend the local school and have rivalries. So in effect, that's kind of mimicking the original Karate Kid, and you've got issues of bullying. Johnny Lawrence's character, played by William Zabka, he decides to reopen the Cobra Kai dojo, and this is where the conflict starts. But what's clever about the show is in it you actually feel sorry for his character. Initially the Daniel LaRusso character, played by Ralph Macchio, is a bit of a dick. He's got a LaRusso auto dealership, and these guys, their life is defined by what they did in a karate competition when they're 14 in a lot of ways. So Johnny Lawrence has always felt like a loser. He's got a drink problem, he's separated from his wife, he's estranged from his son. Ralph Macchio's kind of dined out on the fact that he, did his awesome hawk move or whatever it is back in '84. And he has, he's built a really successful life, and he kind of trades on that in his adverts and things like that for his motor dealership. So yeah, it's something that as it's gone on, the two leads have got better. The acting, I think Ralph Macchio was pretty sound to start off with. Zabka less so, but that's been part of the charm. It's quite nice to see these two guys. They've left their teen roles and they've had regular lives. They've not been afflicted with what happened to River Phoenix or Corey Haim and stuff like that. And it must be great for them. They're just back in there, playing these characters as adults. Throughout the show, there's little cuts back to original footage from the Karate Kid, sort of illustrating various things, which are really amusing. That's something I should say. The show kind of started off as a drama with a bit of comedy, but they've realised the sort of comic value in it, and there's more sort of sequences where you laugh a lot, but there's also boo hiss moments and stuff like that. The young actors are really good. They play winning characters. You sort of feel for the teenagers' struggles with bullying or body image, being in the cool club at school or not with the cool kids, stuff like that. Typical typical classroom divisions, which are explored really well. It's got cool branding. The Cobra Kai at the start's a great logo, and it's got a great logo at the end, which will look great on t-shirts, and I imagine we'll see a lot of those. Soundtrack's really good. There's, like I said, good references to the Karate Kid film. There's references about other 80s films, and the Johnny Lawrence character kind of can't fit in with the modern world, so there's kind of references to him not being able to use the internet, and it's hilarious. The Cobra Kai, the health and safety and the due diligence, the risk assessment aspect of it is hilarious as well. You wouldn't get away with that. So it's kind of mocking the sort of modern world's comfort blanket, cotton wool that we wrap younger people, and all the perception is that we do at times. So it's just a fun show. I was speaking to a mate the other night, and he says, "Oh, you've been watching Cobra Kai?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "That just puts me in a good mood before bed." And I think that's a great thing. I've generally watched this. It's getting to the end of the night. I'll say to I should watch a Cobra Kai, or maybe we'll do 2 episodes. And the longest episodes I think are 36 minutes. The shortest about 23, 25. So average of 30 minutes. It's just really on the head, easy on the head. You can watch one or maybe fit 2 in. So there's 10 episodes a season 1, season 2. Netflix is doing season 3. Very nearly at the end of season 2. Like I say, it started pretty ropey, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So check it out, Cobra Kai. That's my first, I should say this is the first box watch. So obviously box on the box. So this has been what I've been watching on TV or streaming. Just finishing when I was a kid, obviously we watched TV. Something was on at 7:30. You better be there at 7:30. When it was advert break, you'd go for a wee then. Then we got video recorders, so you could take one thing and watch the other. Then we got recorders that could record 3 or 6 things digitally, so you have your Virgin box, your Sky box, and now it's streaming and catch up, so you can watch anything you want when you want, if you've got the right streaming service. Yes, thank you, Disney. Anyway, that's it. We live in the modern world. So this was on Netflix, but there'll be more of these, and they'll be from different mediums. Cheers, thanks so much.